Pantone here with Enve Composites. I'm the Vice President of Product and Brand. And we've got a little sneak preview for you guys on a brand new line of Smart Enve system, also known as SES Aero Wheels for you. We started our Aero Wheel program back in 2008 and 2009. We launched our first Aero road wheel on the Smart Enve system. It was born back then, and over the last 10 years we've continued to refine and improve all the aspects of that wheel, everything from aerodynamics to stability. The real focus with Smart Enve system is real world performance. And what we mean by how Enve defines real world is we develop all the wheels in a bike frame in the wind tunnel. If something performs well in the wind tunnel but rides like crap in the real world, we scrap that until we find something that finds the best holistic blend of aero performance and stability to ensure that the riders who ride this product feel they have more confidence and will truly be able to go faster on the bikes. So currently we have SES wheel line of 6-7 different wheel products. The new Smart Enve system wheel line is being refined down to 4 models. The first wheel I'm going to show you guys is an all-new wheel. It's called the 2.3. The 2.3 is a purpose-built climbing wheel. The most exciting feature of the wheel, being that it's a climbing wheel, is the weight. This wheel set will come in at a weight of 1,190 grams, roughly. The goal with this wheel set is sub 1,200 grams all the time. So, sub 1,200 gram wheel set, purpose-built for climbing. Main feature with this wheel, other feature of the wheel is it's a 21 millimeter internal rim width. So on this wheel, we stay a little bit narrower. And what you see when I show you the other wheels is, depending on the intended application of the wheel, we've got a purpose-built internal rim width. So the goal of this wheel is to keep it nice and light. We kept the rim width as narrow as possible because that's one way to save quite a bit of weight, and also acknowledging that this wheel is going to pair best with a 25 to 28 millimeter tire, kind of at the top end. Very purpose-built road wheel. We developed this rim to also provide quite a bit of stability and confidence-inspiring handling. So the shallower depth gives it that, of course, but the carbon line of the rim has been processed specifically so there's some good torsional stiffness to ensure that cornering is confidence-inspiring and what people want for the downhill as well. The 2.3, as the naming of all SES wheels, indicates the depth of the front and the rear. So the front's a 28 millimeter depth and the rear is a 32 millimeter depth. The entire SES wheel lineup is a hookless, tubeless design. So there will be no more hook beads with the new Smart Enve system. And we continue to test and qualify tires for hookless compatibility. So if there's ever a question about what tires are compatible or what tires are best to be run tubeless and hookless, we do have an area on the website called tire compatibility that you can find under the support and learn buttons on the website to figure out what tires are best to be used with hookless rim systems. The other feature or call out on this tire or on this rim is that it has a max pressure of 90 psi. The next wheel in the line is the 3.4, and currently in the wheel lineup, this is basically the same shape as the 3.4 AR, which is AR is always stood for all road. Since the introduction of the SES AR lineup in 2016, the road world has evolved quite a bit to the point where all road capable bikes are basically just road bikes today. We have, World Tour race bikes can accommodate 32 millimeter tires, and in many cases 35 millimeter tires, and that tire volume is perfect for mixed surface racing like Belgian Waffle Ride, or in the sportive rides they do in Europe like Flanders and Roubaix. The AR is the 3.4 AR was a fantastic wheel for that. As we go into the next generation SES, the 3.4 AR simply becomes the SES 3.4. The big change with this wheel is that it gets about a 12% weight reduction, and the new 3.4 set comes in at 1,390 grams. So a sub 1,400 gram wheel set. The depths on this rim, I have to look at the reference here. Yeah, they're 39 millimeters for the front wheel and 47 for the rear. Internal rim width on this is 25 millimeters. And this rim has, this is the first wheel in terms of road wheels or lower volume tire applications where we introduce what's called the wide hookless bead. And wide hookless bead is referring to the width of the leading edge of the rim right here. And making this wider makes it more pinch flat resistant, and by making it more pitch flat resistant, it becomes a much better option for mixed road surfaces and lower tire pressures. So if you're somebody who's going to primarily ride road, but occasionally throw your hat in a mixed surface road race, or even potentially you want one wheel set to cover both your gravel and your road bike, the 3.4 is probably the best choice in the lineup for that because of the weight, the versatility, and this feature called the wide hookless bead. So 3.4 is our best-selling wheel today, and will probably continue to be so in the future. As we move through the line, we continue to get deeper, and what I have here is the evolution of the 4.5 AR. So this wheel was originally launched in 2016. It's the first wheel that Enve launched with a hookless bead for road usage. It was the first wheel that introduced the AR concept. And again, like the 3.4 dropping the AR after it, so does the 4.5. So this wheel simply becomes the SES 4.5. The depths on this wheel are 49 front and 56 rear. A big change to this wheel that it didn't have in the previous generation is that same wide hookless bead technology that helps prevent pinch flats so that you can run lower tire pressures on mixed surfaces. That said, this has become more or less the flagship road racing wheel set for Enve. It too has undergone a 10% weight reduction, and it is now sitting at sub 1,500 grams. I believe the exact weight is 1,470. It features a 25 millimeter internal rim width. And again, this is hands down the house favorite at Enve. And when we look, as we get into this depth here, we now are starting to talk about serious aero performance as well as crosswind stability. So all the SES wheels are different depths and shapes front to back. The front wheels are designed specifically to maximize stability in crosswinds, and then the rear wheels are generally deeper, and specifically their goal is to, of course, for the to drive power through the wheels, obviously, and provide that sort of support there. Drive efficiency, I guess, and of course, from an aerodynamic standpoint, it's all about capturing flow and making the bike as fast as possible as the air comes around the front of the bike, off the rider, and then reattaches to the rear wheel. So the Smart Enve system is unique and it always has been. When we talk about real world, the reality is the wind and the air at the front of the bike interacts with the wheel and the rider very differently than it does on the back half of the bike. So each wheel is designed specifically for that zone on the bike. What that means to our customers is that they get a better ride experience because now they can have both the aero efficiency without compromising the handling, stability, and confidence that comes with that. Given this wheel's lightweight nature and its high aero coefficient, it becomes the best choice in the line for somebody that's looking for road performance. So that's the 4.5. And again, this is the house favorite. If we were to classify that wheel, this is what we all ride day in, day out in our on our lunch rides when we go ride road bikes. And pretty much that wheel lives on everybody's road bike all the time. It also, before I get into this next wheel, the best tires, so Enve makes 4 different SES road tires that are aerodynamically optimized to be paired with these wheels. The fastest combination for this wheel set is to run our 27 millimeter tire on the 4.5. Really, any of these wheels, that 27s are our design foundation. So that's what we design all the rim shapes around. And so running that tire with this rim is the fastest net aero gain you can achieve. As we go to the next deepest wheel, for those that have followed Enve over the years, our very first installment of Smart Enve System had a wheel called the 6.7. And it was a wheel that we targeted for triathletes. And with this new introduction of Smart Enve System in its 4th generation, we are bringing back the 6.7. And this is a wheel that we're super excited about. A few years ago, we said, hey, if we just let the science guide our way into new rim shape and depth in terms of maximizing aero efficiency, minimizing weight, understanding what that inflection point is, because typically what happens is there's a certain point where the aero performance as it relates to depth starts to trail off, and you start to add a lot of weight for very little aero gain. And this wheel is the wheel that all the numbers point to in terms of finding that perfect spot where you maximize all the aero efficiency and minimize as much weight, you have the lowest weight as possible. So the 6.7 is a 60 millimeter front depth and a 70 millimeter rear. To be very specific, it's a 67 millimeter depth rear. But this rim features a 23 millimeter internal rim width, so it's a little narrower than the 3.4 and the 4.5. The reasoning for that is because we still want to give people that are a little hesitant to run a higher volume tire like the 27, which is the tire they should run on this. But if somebody's running a 25 or wants to run 25 millimeter tire, they still could on this rim. So we qualified it for use with a lower volume tire and higher pressures. So max tire pressure on the 6.7 is 90 psi still, and that would be for the lowest volume 25 millimeter tire. But again, this wheel's for somebody that wants aero performance and efficiency over all else. Because of how we designed the front and the rear rims specifically for stability and aero efficiency, even though it's a deep wheel, it handles much more like a lot of our competitors' 40 and 50 millimeter deep wheels, due to the subtle shape differences between the front and the back rim. So the customer for this wheel is we're really targeting triathletes with this wheel, but the road racer, the guy who likes to be off the front and is looking for maximum efficiency in terms of aerodynamics, is really who the 6.7 is for. These wheels are all handmade in Ogden, Utah, so if anybody has the opportunity to swing through Utah sometime, if you're coming out to our rodeo event in June, we'll give you a tour and we'll show you firsthand how our carbon is processed and how it is turned into wheels. And these wheels all have a 5-year warranty that also comes with an incident protection program. So the warranty covers anything we may screw up, and the incident protection covers anything our customers screw up in transporting and riding and racing their bicycles. In addition, the retail price for all 4 wheels is the same. It's $2,850. It's a new retail price for all Smart Enve System wheels. All the wheels are built from the factory with Enve's premium road hub. These hubs are quite light, but the number one goal with them is to achieve maximum reliability. We don't want our customers to have a hub they have to set preloads, change bearings in, grease or lube in any way. So these hubs are optimized from a flange spacing, and they use this paired spoking type pattern to maximize rim stiffness and ride dynamics that way. We use full stainless steel bearings, not to be confused with normal carbon steel bearings. The full stainless ensure that they're corrosion proof for years and years to come. They have complete sealed external sills with non-contact inner sills to reduce rolling resistance and friction. And they also have a technology called Perfect Preload, which is a system that means that you never have to adjust the preload. So if you've ever had a wheel that over time you ride, it starts to knock back and forth and feel loose, and you have to go and adjust it or make some changes. The way we've designed this is there's a spring that's tuned in there that's locked behind a clamp that ensures that the bearings always have a perfect amount of preload on them, hence the name Perfect Preload. So the only reason the main takeaway for our customers is that if you buy an Enve hub, you should never have to touch that hub. You should be able to ride that hub for 5 years without ever worrying about it. And that's what the goal of these hubs was. The rear, we use a ratchet system that has a 60 tooth engagement. So high engagement, very durable tooth count, and so yeah, you'll find that each and every Smart Enve system wheel comes with that premium hub in it. For those that are interested in other hubs, we have a lot of custom wheel builders and shops that can provide wheel building services in any hub you'd like to build into your brand new. So I think that about covers the all new Smart Enve system.